Okay, hi everyone, welcome back, and in this update we are going to check out XDC's price chart, and what we talked about in the previous video basically played out. But the question is, can we argue this thing right in here is going to mark our final low? So first things first, if you remember the last time that we talked about XDC, we were, I think, right around this point, and the idea was, if we get another move down, and in that move we take this important low about, let's say, 7.8 cents, at that point it's going to be confirmed that we are having in this little face up an ABC zigzag, meaning what? Our move down is not over, and we are going to continue this phase in order to most likely take the lowest low all the way down here about 7.5 cents in a very strong and impulsive manner. And what do you know, we got that move. Now here is the situation. Do not worry about the subwaves, because I am absolutely able to find to about, now I'm going to argue this point, maybe in form of like an A, B, C, D, E, a triangular structure, a correction for another move down into wave 5. So technically, you see, in XDC, we are able to argue, you know what, on a higher degree, like we talked about it so many times, we should have in here an ABC zigzag to about the lowest low, meaning what? The bottom is in, and we can expect yet another move up. Why did I say another move up? Because in my view, in XDC, we should consider 5 up into 1 correction for wave 2, and what's next? Good move on the upside into wave 3 for 5. And you want to remember, in terms of Elliott's waves, wave 3 is actually known to be quite a strong and sharp move up. So if we are going to get this scenario, you should expect some very much exciting price action. Now, in terms of the subwaves, we said don't worry about it, we can get them to work. But that doesn't, in my view, mean that we should be overwhelmingly optimistic. Why? I have 2 reasons for it. Number 1, you see, in terms of Elliott's waves, if you want to say that, for example, we're going to have our final low around here, maybe this is like a very important support, then okay, show me off of the lowest low, a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wave up, in order for me to flip bullish. This specific structure is called an impulsive movement. Rules for it are, we should not have overlapping of the waves between wave 2 and 4, and in any kind of 5 wave, wave 3 should not be the smallest wave. And in terms of the sub waves, you probably know this story. 5 wave up into wave 1, 3, and 5, and for wave 2 and 4 we can have different counts. Let's say sure, WXY into 4 and an ABC structure into wave 2. Now let's go on the live chart and see what is going on. And if I just go on 15-minute chart, okay, so what do you have? I think you can consider 2 different counts in here. Scenario number 1 suggests, which is actually my favorite count, that this is 1, this is 2, good move up into wave 3, correction for 4, and we are having another move on the upside into wave 5, meaning what? In XDC, there's actually a chance that we have hit our final low. But why did I say we shouldn't be overwhelmingly optimistic, and yet we have all the right structures? Here is the situation. You should also consider the possibility of having something called an ABC flat, which looks like this. This is our initial move up into a correction for wave B, which in it we are going to take this initial important low, and then a strong move up into our C leg. And in this phase, we can have 2 scenarios. Either we are not going to take the highs, which means we are having an ABC running flat, or maybe we are going to take it, which at that point, this pattern is called an ABC expanded flat. But you know, nonetheless, the subwaves are very much similar. ABC into A, ABC into B, and a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wave up into C. Now let's go in here and see what is going on. And this, my friends, is a very important reason for why I think we need to be careful. You see, we said that also in the previous update. Sure, maybe this is an ABC, but I can also get a 5 wave impulsive structure to work in here. And since this can be also a 5 wave, well, okay, maybe we are having an ABC down, and this is most likely an ABC on the upside to about the highs. And well, what does that mean? It means even if this is going to be a 5 wave, you may end up having on a higher degree from this point and not the lowest low, just a simple ABC flat structure, meaning what? This leg up that we are getting, not only it's actually not the beginning of a new phase up, but also it might be the beginning of a correction structure, meaning what you are going to see in the short term after this is over, some more strong downward price action. So what should we do right now? In my view, the current move up in XDC can continue a little bit, but be careful and be patient. Why? Because even if you are going to go according to the most bullish scenario, after completing a 5-wave, one way or the other, we are going to have a move on the downside. So this is my advice. I think we need to be a bit patient and wait for a move down, and then we are going to check the shape of that move, and assuming that we identify all the right structures, you know what, fair enough. At that point, we can be bullish with a bit more confidence. And I hope I explained everything well and you understood what is going on in XDC. And until the next update, I hope you have a wonderful time. Goodbye.